some travel issues getting out here. You're basically straight off the plane, but looking nonetheless any worse for the wear. How about an opening statement for folks?
Well, we're very excited to be here. We're very excited to represent Florida State University in the ACC. As you know, this is what you play for. This is what you prepare for. And when you start those meetings all the way back, we don't even talk about talk about last January when this team was first formed. And like I always talk about, a team has a one-year identity, has a one-year lifespan, and that's what we talk about. This is the ultimate goal which you want to give to. We're very proud to be here. Very excited to be here, like I say, representing Florida State in the ACC, and looking forward to a great game against a great opponent with Auburn, and hopefully we'll play well and represent ourselves very well.
No one knows, Jimbo, what the shape of the game will be, but let's start with something that you guys really haven't faced much of, and that's been a close game. Won every game by 14 or more. If you're able to get that result here, you'd be just the third team to ever do that. Give us an idea of what you think you might find yourselves in if it's a close game late.
It doesn't matter to us because we don't look at the scoreboard. We don't care what the score is. We play every game like that. We were behind in the Boston College game, 17-3 in the second quarter, played very well. Miami game was 21-14 at half. We had a big play, it was 14-14, and we scored before the half and played very well. But as crazy as this sounds, we don't care what the score is. We're about playing every play, one play at a time, putting our head down. We don't look at the scoreboard, give effort on every play, and at the end we look at the results. And we don't become a result-oriented team. So we don't know if it's close or far away. We just want to play well. If we continue to play well, then sometimes we're not close.
The coaches in this game always find themselves obviously trying to basically rework the schedule, plot out the number of practices, how to build that schedule. How has the team practiced, and what sort of challenge have you felt in building out that grid?
You know, I was very pleased. I thought our first 5 practices before we went to Christmas break were excellent. We guys really got after it. They came back, and I thought we did a good job, really responded. By that second day, I thought we were right back in form. I think our guys are very focused, and this team has been this way. The thing about this team that I will always remember is how unselfish they were and how they were willing to prepare. They just didn't like playing the games. They liked everything about it. They liked practicing. This team has always done that, and I felt the same in our bowl preparation.
We had a chance when we met before Christmas to talk a little bit about this. Don't know how many people know this. I find this fascinating about the way you manage your time and review the decisions that you've made. You write notes when you encounter situations and you feel as though the decision has prompted a favorable outcome. You'll write a note, and essentially it goes in one place. If it was an outcome that you believed could have been better, it goes into another spot. Which pile is bigger?
Well, right now the ones that went right, because, and I don't say it's not because of our wisdom. I think it's because of our players and our assistant coaches. They've done a great job of preparing this team. We've made good decisions, and I do that. People say, why do you do that? Well, everybody says when you make a mistake, you want to remember it and be able to correct it. But the thing that we don't do in our society, we don't remember why we have success. Because of being able to, you want to be an undefeated team, you want to be in these games, you have to repeat success. And to repeat it, you have to remind yourself about what you do and how you go about your business. So I always want to put those reminders there so we not only know how to correct mistakes, but we also know how to repeat great performance.
I want to have the opportunity to bring out a couple of the outstanding playmakers here for the Seminoles. One on offense and one on defense. Lamarcus Joyner, Hope Award finalist here, an outstanding defensive back. And Rashad Greene, another sensational pair of hands, an outstanding young man in the wide receiving corps. I want to start out, Lamarcus, with you. We've had the chance to chat over the course of this season, and I know what this senior leadership and this senior class has been through in terms of the time they've spent on this campus and what this group means to you. What role have the seniors played in authoring a perfect season? And if you could identify it, what's been the key message from the seniors?
One team, one heartbeat. We started that way back in January. And we kind of adopt the attitude and the character of Coach Fisher. And we want to thank him for being a wonderful leader. You know, we kind of adapt his character, and we are able to do great things from that because, you know, all the pressure is on Coach, and we do whatever we do to support him and his team. And the league's been doing a pretty good job with that.
Rashad, 22 career touchdowns, nearly 1,000 yards, 981 yards receiving this season. Jameis Winston throwing a ball. Give us an idea. This is a guy that throws 97 miles an hour off a pitcher's mound in baseball. But describe his touch and his feel as you break a route.
James Ball is very precise. You know, first of all, you know, he reads your body language. You know, when you in in and out your cut. So the ball is pretty much out of his hand before you even come to your break. So, and that gives you enough time to, just run your route, right? And once you get your head around, the ball is there. And that's perfect for, tight coverages and things like that.
Rashad, this is an offense which is 28 points away from setting the all-time record in the history of the FBS in college football, Division I. Why have you been able to score so quickly and so prolifically?
Because the way we practice, it has a lot to do with it. The way we start fast at practice, that turns over into the game. And once we get in the game and we get going and we're able to execute, it just keeps going and going and going and it doesn't stop.
Lamarcus, I know you've heard over and over, despite being the #1 defensive recruit in the nation out of high school, about your size. You lead the Seminoles in sacks, third in the team in tackles. How does a guy at your size make so much happen on the field?
It goes back to attitude. That's what we believe around there at Florida State, and what Coach Fisher say. I may not be the biggest, but I may have the biggest heart in the United States of America. And that's all that matters. Football is 90% mental and 10% physicality, and I do the best I can with my mental aspects of the game.
We have seen Auburn run the ball with great effectiveness against some great defenses. Watching their game plan, watching tape, what do you see?
Same thing. Nothing but respect to those guys. Pretty physical football team, and they stayed consistent for 60 minutes. And that's what Coach Fisher says about consistency. It's all about bend, don't break. Those guys don't break. Those guys do what they do, and they do it well. And on the other hand, we do what we do well. So it's going to be a great football game.
Coach Fisher, when you watch the way they scheme to rush the football and as prolific as they've been, what concerns you the most?
I think that their versatility in going outside and inside. And then they also have the quarterback when you have the speed sweeps and you have to set edges on the defense so they can't outflank you. But at the same time, you can't worry about too much outside when you set the edges because you become weak inside. And then they have the quarterback who will do the runs and then the play action back off of it. So they create outside runs, inside runs, and then the quarterback can run with the running game. And it's very three-dimensional. It causes a lot of problems. And they do, and they block very well up front. And then the receivers block very well. I think that's an underlying thing that we don't talk about enough. Their receivers do a good job blocking downfield also.
Rashad, we've all seen the 109-yard touchdown return. We've seen in the Georgia game the deflection and the remarkable catch that led to a touchdown for Auburn. What role does luck play in a season?
I don't believe it though. I feel like you control your own destiny. The way you prepare and you go about your business. So I don't feel like luck is a part of the game. It's how you go about yourself and take care of your business and prepare.
I want to welcome in Gina Leahy now, and she'll moderate and open it up to questions. Gina?
Thank you, Tom. Again, we've got two